Boom, baby, we're live. Welcome to Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 144. What is Uptober? Bull market is ready to run. So much more. Finally, the gains are here. Good morning from Tokyo, Japan. How is everybody doing today? It is time for the greatest crypto show in the world. I'm here joined by my two great friends, Adam, the Crypto Chad, and Alex, Charts Guy. Morning, guys. How are we doing?
Fabulous.
Morning for me and Alex. Hey, and then Adam is joining us on 56K internet, so we're just he's gonna chime in every 10 minutes. So we're gonna be talking about what's going on with the market today. We really just don't want to waste any time and jump right into this because this is going up. So Uptober is the slang for cryptocurrency because crypto consistently goes up in Uptober. Like October has some of the best returns ever, and on top of that, we are heading closer to the finish of the 2024 presidential election. One candidate is extremely pro crypto, that is Donald J. Trump. The other candidate is notoriously anti-crypto, and they have the nefarious Gary Gensler at the head of the SEC. So we have everything. It seems like the perfect storm is brewing. I don't want to waste any of your time with any more of my personal theories here. We're going to jump right into the charts with Alex, the strength of Bitcoin, and then the strength of the market. Alex, take it away.
Well, to kick off, I've got some stuff some goodies from Bob, our dear friend, Mr. Bob Lucas. Just his general thoughts on the sort of short-term, long-term. So let's bring up some slides.
Looking super solid. Everything is looking solid across the board.
Yeah, okay. It's quite nice. Let's see
if we...
Cool. So this is just a screenshot from a video put out just yesterday in his little private group. Still relevant to today, day later. So basically, he's got these sort of two scenarios and then sort of the mid scenario in the middle. The important thing is that we are currently getting close to this. If you can see my cursor on the screen, I'm not sure.
Yes, you can.
Groovy. So we're getting to this sort of arrow here. Basically, this is he's drawn this line coming down. It's called a speed angle, where you just like sort of draw a line that matches tops or bottoms or whatever. So you can see how we've had for a little while lower tops and lower bottoms kind of consistently going through. So the trend is currently sort of leaning to the downside a bit, but we're currently having all this bullish action. We've had a nice, double bottom here. So it is looking like we want to get out of this zone now. So what we want to see here is a really quick kind of slice through and continuation. If that doesn't happen, then as far as Bob's concerned, we'll still sort of dick around for the rest of the year doing not much before going up, or we'll just start going up now. So basically, we're going up into 2025 regardless. It's just a matter of if we're just going to shoot ahead or not. A couple of weeks ago, everyone was like, oh, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Last few days, everyone's been feeling really, really good. That usually means that we're probably going to look into a little top for the next couple of days and might come down for a week or so. That does line up with sort of the first segment of a 60-day cycle. We're about day 15 to 20. You have a little high. Day 30, you got a little low. Day 45, you have the higher high. Day 60, you got a low and continue on. So it's all looking good there. If we move to the weekly, it's the same sort of thing, shooting up. Now, in terms of price targets, we can go talk about that a little bit later, but somewhere anywhere from sort of 120,000 to 250,000 at the end of next year is definitely doable. So that's always nice. Daily, this is just a little bit of a closer look going through. He also shot through a few altcoins that might be looking to outpace Bitcoin. Super versus Bitcoin's good chart. I'm not sure if anyone's got any of that. Sui looking good. Solana is holding its ratio with Bitcoin. So most of this year, it's sort of been up, and then in March, it was definitely outpacing, but it's sort of been trending sideways most of the year, but holding strong. So if you were holding Solana, you would be earning more Bitcoin. That's why I'm a good fan of it, because it is indeed outpacing. I do have the Ethereum ratio. So this whole year, Ethereum has just sort of been throwing up.
Is that Bitcoin. Ethereum, or is that the Hex chart?
Yeah, this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I know it's seen better days. We keep on going, oh, is this the low? It's reversing. And then it goes like, is this the low? It's reversing. And so here we are, maybe like a bit of a battered wife, oh, this is the low. Here it is. It's finally
you
going
sound
up.
like James.
Yeah. So, we've been seeing, apparently Vitalik's cooped up in a cave somewhere trying to pump the Ethereum price furiously with a bit of work. So
you know why? His girlfriend dumped him, and he's literally on record saying, I'm going in monk mode.
Exactly. So that's what we need. That's what we need, because Ethereum's really
he needs to start hanging out with Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is learned how to fight, got a little testosterone in his system. He's like, I'm not a liberal anymore.
Oh, I'm waiting for Vitalik, just to turn up, and he's put on like 20 kilos. He's all like juiced up. That would be amazing. Oh god.
Vitalik Prime.
Yes, then we'd see some fucking good price action. So, Ethereum's kind of, it's okay. I mean, I'm favoring Solana much more at the moment over Ethereum, but I still think Ethereum will do okay. But we really want to see it start outpacing Bitcoin kind of now, or else, feel free to jump ship. If we're looking at some other altcoins like DOT, that's another ecosystem, Gavin Wood, and that has been nothing but terrible. Now, this chart, this Ethereum one is only from sort of May, June, whereas this DOT one has been for like the last 2 years. It is just down. 3 years, 2021, down. So if you're hanging out with anyone who's like, oh, DOT, like it's so good, parachains, oh my god, no, they're full of shit. Now,
they're ditching the parachains.
Are they?
Oh
yeah,
that was their whole draw. Oh, we've got these parachains, so you can do things faster.
They're now talking about a new system about, like, essentially you pay for space on a per use basis. You don't need to have a parachain list for 2 entire years, because no one was getting them. Like, there was no incentive past the first initial ones.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, they can do what they like, but the chart is garbage, and so just don't. Like, you might just be in Bitcoin. If your cryptocurrency is not going to outpace Bitcoin, just be in Bitcoin. There's literally no point. A good point that he made was, so his Doge versus Bitcoin, and that sort of seems to have got a level here. So we don't want to see it break down. If it does, then you probably want to get out of Doge. But basically, in previous markets, everyone would like to speculate on these altcoins. So we'd be like, oh, DOT, it's a new thing. It's going to go really, really well. It'll make all this money. It's got this big community. It's got this big projects. Whereas this cycle, everyone is just buying meme coins, and they're just going, I know it doesn't do anything. I know it's a fucking joke. I know I'll probably lose money, but I'll buy it anyways. And so all of these other ecosystems that have all these founders behind them doing all these things, no one cares. Like, no one cares. So no one needs to speculate on DOT anymore when they can just throw it into Doge, when they can just throw it into WIF or PopCat. Like, they'll just do that. So a lot of these older coins. Who's that? So there's that. AVAX seems to have turned around a little bit as well, so that's good. Here was a little trade idea around it. It's targeting 40, this sort of horizontal line here. With that said, though, I mean, I sort of tend to put things in. If I'm trading on the Solana blockchain, I'm trading against Solana. I want to gain more Solana. If I'm trading on Ethereum, I want to gain more Ethereum. And anything else, if I'm on an exchange or something, I want to trade for more Bitcoin. So whilst AVAX is looking like it's setting up nicely for this sort of 37% increase, which is a great return, I don't think, it'll outpace as much as sort of other. It all depends on what you're trading. But if you're just looking for a basic bones kind of trade idea, you might go, well, if it breaks this and closes above it, then here's the trade. So, by all means, take a screenshot or something, and have a look at it a little bit later. But there's that. Cardano's another blockchain system that's just terrible. This is gone down, doesn't even fit on the freaking chart. It's dropped 90% versus Bitcoin in the last 3 years. So you hear, I love just finding the odd Alex Becker video, and he spends half the time just shitting on people who shill Cardano, and for good reason. All right, that man is crazy, but listen to that man when he says that, because just look at the chart. This is irredeemable. This is garbage. Holy shit. So yeah, pick wisely. If we've said it in a few shows, if your cryptocurrency has not started to move now, right? Because everything that's going to move has been moving already for the last 12 months. If it hasn't been going up now, it's probably not going to go up. So just get out and get into something that's actually doing something constructive.
Yeah.
Hex.
Hex.
Do we
No,
dare
just-
pull up the hex chart?
if you could queue it up, I don't want to. I'm going to infect my computer with a virus if I do that. So Ame's doing well, but I'm not convinced yet. I want to see it close above sort of this horizontal level before, but you can see it's kind of on its way back up. This is obviously versus Bitcoin. And WIF's another little one that on the weekly, it's broken this. As long as we can close a little bit high, then you might be looking to take a position if you're looking for something a bit more speculative. But keep your altcoins 2 to 10% of your portfolio, and you probably won't end up losing everything. So risk analysis, people.
Yes.
Now let's go to the chart. If it's going to pop up. One sec.
In the meantime, after this, we're going to talk to Adham. If his internet's stable, because me and Adham were up. Guys overslept today. Sorry, because me and Adham were I was up until 5 a.m. talking to Adham about what's happening in this market. I have never been this bullish. I'm going to talk about, now this is going to be more speculative. I'm more of a fundamental guy. I'm a market fundamental guy. That's why I have these two geniuses here who are more mathematical and chart based. But we're going to talk about that right after this.
So welcome. Ethereum weekly chart. So yeah, we're making higher highs. It's going up. Nice. Now, when it comes to some various targets and things, we're looking, November. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the year, Ethereum is up here where we were back in March, somewhere around here. I know we can always go a bit further, but I think that's quite reasonable. So that's why I'm still quite positive on Ethereum. If we do break lower, then I'm well and truly out. That's irredeemable. But somewhere about 56% on the horizon for Ethereum. So that's looking good. Bitcoin, lovely. Doing everything it should do. Staying around here. We might do I could do a whole episode on all these lines and things that come through. I try to not keep the chats too busy because it just looks, if you draw enough lines, anything seems to work. So you kind of got to be a bit selective by it. But, the general thing is we hit a line, we move to the next line, and then we move back up again. So for the end of the year, I'm looking somewhere, we can easily get to 100K by the end of the year. That would be nice. Otherwise, if we're looking at something, because remember, like the last market, usually we'll have a top earlier in the year. When we certainly had that this year in March, we had a top that we still haven't gotten back to. And we've come down, and then towards the end of the year, we're going up. So next year, we could do the similar sort of thing. That's what happened in 2021. We had a big top around May, and then we came down next top in November. So if we have some sort of major top in the first half of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if we were somewhere, in the $115,000, $125,000 range. And end of market, we're coming up to 152 or even 290,000. Wow, crazy. So there's more stuff that I would put in here to kind of get a general target, but what these are good for is just looking at price and time. So if we're expecting something around November, then the price will want to be somewhere around these areas. So 80,000, 153,000, 290,000. Crazy numbers. We'll take it one level at a time, but it's looking pretty good. Similar thing for Solana. We're coming up. We're making high. We've got 1, 2, 3 weeks up. We've stopped here. Cool. That's probably it for the week. But if we can get above here, we can just sort of keep it going. End of the year, we're looking somewhere around $250. That's all-time high, or 190. I reckon probably closer to here. So we might be challenging all-time highs at the end of the year. Next year, we're looking around here, 308 to 320. That would be 50% of the Ethereum market cap. So there's another reason why I'm sort of targeting this level, because I believe that's definitely possible. And towards the end of the year, we're looking at 380. We're looking at 580. We're looking at, $1,000. So once again, we'll take it a level at a time, but things are looking pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, this is, if there's any more of a bullish scenario, this is pretty crazy, in my opinion. Adham, I just want you to
Yeah.
take the floor because Adam, out of everybody on this podcast, guys, Adam, no, like you have to understand, me and Adam have been doing this for quite some time now. And you have to understand, like, this is going to sound a bit esoteric, but bear with me. The crypto community is a living, breathing organism, and it does have a pulse. It does have like a hive mind, if you will. And Adam knows this very well. That's why last night we were running numbers because I was just double checking and triple checking and quadruple checking. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And is this happening? Is this happening? And like every scenario we have ran through, it just, there's no way this doesn't stop going. It is here. Like the bull market second leg is absolutely here. So Adam, looks like he froze there a second, but Adam, why don't you just take the floor whenever you can. Okay, go ahead, buddy.
Sure.
We are live.
But yeah, he's just got the worst internet right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit us with that text to speech.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
you froze up. You froze up, but
Hello?
yeah, you're freezing really bad.
Yeah, turn off cam.
Okay, there we go. We're sharing. If you're in a hotel, you can call them to whitelist your device. I do that all the time. I like it. Make a big stink out of it. Okay, no, you're just coming in so bad, buddy. We can't do that anymore. Shoot, dude. You don't have a hard line? You gotta I guess you can't jack in.
No,
right,
I'm gonna send you a screenshot of my chart.
Here,
so
it's up on the screen right now. It's the screenshot with the the vectors and the green arrow.
Okay, yeah. So quickly before my internet crashes again. So following the Bitcoin 60-day cycle, right now we're on around like day 20. And these lines I have over here, the yellow ones, this is basically the last high we had back in August and the last low we had back in early September. So this is like our border or range for this cycle. So we're pretty good because we are on the upper edge, but we want to see a strong move above it. Right now, as you can see, it tried yesterday to get above it, and it was for a bit, but it couldn't, so it came back down. And right now, we're in a red candle, but the day just started, so nothing to be too worried about. What we want to see, either in the daily or the weekly, is a strong and continued move up from here until basically 70K, which is the next high. So as long as we are in this general area by around October 7th, which would be day 30 of the cycle, we can expect some bullish action for the rest of October up until November 6th, like just after the election. And that could potentially also be the start of a new bullish cycle. But first, we want this one to be a bullish one. So what we want to see is at least this level until October 7. And after that, even if it's just short-lived, we want to push up till like 67, 68K just to have the high on the later indicates a more prolonged bullish movement. So that's basically it. If not, maybe right now, since seemingly we're getting rejected from the first attempt, we may bounce on this 200-day moving average as like a little support and then try again later, and that would be totally fine. The only thing we don't want to see is the price move back towards like 60K nearing the next week or two, because that would be a bearish cycle then.
I see. Yeah. Very good stuff. Very interesting. I think, like I said, everything is just lining up perfectly.
Also on the weekly, if we wanna have a longer time frame.
You're lagging out there,
It
pal.
looks similar.
Go. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to stop there. Okay, so we'll stop right there. But the market, like I said, Bitcoin is set up for a breakout as well, and it's not like I said. Go ahead.
Sorry. More positive because the candle is still green, and we still have until Sunday close, so it can pretty easily go back above 65K and be the start of a continued bullish move into late October. So that's the immediate analysis I would have for the market.
Yeah, so everything generally across the world kind of bottoms out in September. They usually have a low, basically. So that's why October is usually always up, because we've just had a low. So even if you're going to go lower, you have to come back up. So it's looking good. It's because it's not looking like it wants to go down. We've got everyone starting to turn on the money printer. Yes. We've got the election coming by. We've got various stock markets all zooming up. Like in Australia, everyone's like, oh, God, we've got no money and everything's really tough and everything's so expensive. And it is. But everyone who owns shit is like, woohoo, because they're all making money because everything's going up. All the stocks going up. The price of housing has kind of plateaued a bit, but has still been knocking up. And as soon as they lower an interest rate, everyone will go, great, now we can borrow stuff. Now we can get excited. So I'm anticipating we'll get an interest rate cut in, later. Maybe end of this year, but maybe not till the early part of next year. And from there, that can allow everything to really shoot up for one more crazy ride, because it's all coming to an end soon. I tell you what, we've spent all the money and there's nothing left.
Yep.
I'm in Victoria and the state is freaking bankrupt. I tell you what. Whew.
We're all bankrupt from a governmental standpoint. So another thing is this: if you take a quick look, I'm going to share something on the screen. Now I'm going to talk about my little section here. Okay, the perfect storm seems to be brewing. Now, remember, we just had a rate cut, and it was 50 basis points, and the next Federal Reserve meeting is set for November. We are expecting another rate cut. They have 8 more meetings going into, I believe, July of next year or something. But the people that I trust are believing we're going to have 8 consecutive rate cuts, because if you know anything about money and the money printing system, they have to keep printing money, or if they don't, then we're all just going to fall into economic despair. And that's just not what's going to happen, because they can't have the pitchforks and torches of the peasants coming out for their elite, to eat the elites. So a couple things. I got a couple of bullish news here. So real quick, I'll show you this. So China just released 113 billion economic stimulus to their market. This is the Shanghai Composite Index. It is already up since they've done that. And what's going to happen is basically right here, China rolled out a massive stimulus package last night to help boost its economy. They're cutting the interest rates. They're cutting the existing mortgage rates. They've eased the home buying requirements, and they have $114 billion in liquidity to support stocks. Okay. And then even lowered bank reserve requirements. Okay. This is the largest economic stimulus China has done in a very, very, very long time. So that's bull point number 1. Bull point number 2, again, I'm going to reiterate it. The rate cuts are going to be cut in November. We had a 50 basis point cut after consecutively jacking up the rates since 2022, which I called, if you've been watching the Tokyo Crypto Show, I said they're going to raise rates every single month without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. And it is just hilarious to see people even consider that they're going to raise rates in November. Everybody's pretty sure they're going to lower the rates, because the current administration, the Biden-Harris administration, has been one of the worst administrations in the history of American politics in a very, 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 very long time, dating back to Jimmy Carter. In addition to that, also, very, very bullish news. If you guys don't know, on Sunday, there's a very big event happening in crypto, and that is the Binance Finder CZ leaves prison. I don't know why it says Friday, because it said he's supposed to get out on the 29th. But he's supposed to get out on the Sunday, the 29th. I think this is they made a mistake here. CZ is the former head of the one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, Binance. And if I had to wrongfully go to prison for 4 months, okay, he's the richest person ever to be incarcerated in American history with $60 billion. He was put in a minimum security prison in California, and then he was transferred to Long Beach right after. This is right here. So if I'm CZ and you lock me in prison for 4 months, when I come out, I'm not going to dump the market. I'm going to rip the market and make even more money and rub it in everybody's face that you're not going to just lock me up, throw away the key for 4 months, make me eat some prison sludge as the richest man in crypto. And I'm not going to sit there and take it lightly. I think the market is geared and ready to roll as well in regards to the whole anticipation of him coming out and finally being released. I think the memes are going to fly on when he had 4 days left. The memes are coming out with him doing the 4. That's the iconic, the CZ4. So that is also exceptionally bullish. In political news, there's 2 candidates. And when it comes down to it, there's Donald Trump and there's Kamala. And nobody who has money and wants financial success is supporting Kamala, period. Trump is leading her in massive battleground states. He's leading her in Arizona. He's leading her in Georgia. And he's leading her in also, there was one more. I believe he's leading her in Pennsylvania as well. So this is setting up to be something iconically bullish. President Trump has never had this much momentum moving into a presidential election. He has more momentum than he had in 2016 and 2020 combined. That being said, that's bullish because I do remember in 2016, the day he got elected in, the markets ripped. The TradFi markets ripped upwards. And then 2017, Bitcoin hit all-time highs. So that also does coincide with the fact that after the presidential elections, because no matter who gets in office, we're going to be bullish, but it's the degree of how bullish we're going to get and how hard the market's going to grow is going to be definitely is going to be based upon the candidate. So that being said, there are just so many things happening right now. Talking about people who are out of touch and stuff, like I said, nobody's really more in touch with crypto. In my personal opinion, having a grand idea of the grand scheme of things, me and Adam are probably the deepest crypto divers here. But even Raul Paul, he says, these are my core crypto bets. Main game, Sol. Outperform the gaming adoption is Sui, which Sui is this number two crypto in regards to transactions. Okay. He has memes. I don't even know what SEF is. Is this? I don't know what this meme is. But the fact that he is even mentioning memes and stuff, but he's talking about Doge. Doge is old news. Doge has underperformed massively this whole time. It has been overshadowed by a lot of things. Meme-wise, WIF is probably the most recognized meme coin this time around. But then you have Bonk, which is Solana's official coin. But then you have, if you look in the top 100, there's a lot of Solana meme coins. There's that one coin Popcat that people talk about. WIF is up there. And now what's happening too is when the market gets bullish, there is more trending memes. And the newest meme out there, do you guys know about the newest, hottest meme on Solana right now?
Who?
No. Adam, do you know?
Tell us.
The sun? No, that is strong. Man, I don't know. There's too many of them.
Yeah. So I keep in touch with the memes because, I have no life.
Only like 2,000 a day, Adam. Come on, keep up.
Yeah, right. The newest meme that we've got on the market here is this guy right here. That is MOODENG. MOODENG, the Thai hippo. Okay. This thing has seen insane growth. MOODENG is an actual hippo in a zoo in Thailand. This is MOODENG right here. Super cute, super adorable. And MOODENG, if you take a look at the price action, this is absolutely insane. So MOODENG was launched on September 10th. Okay. It was at 0.0004 of a cent. And now it is currently at 17 cents. So quick moon math for you guys. If you were to just put a simple $1,000 in at 0.1234, you now have 2.5 million MOODENG. You times that 0.17. Your $1,000 just became $425,000 in a course of 17 days. It got all the way up to 30 cents. This is something to keep an eye on. But this is also a symbol that like things are going down. MOODENG is everywhere. If you're paying attention to cryptocurrency, if you're paying attention to memes this cycle, memes are not to be ignored. And here's why. Okay. Meme coins are the literal like multiplier of your portfolio. If you make a good allocation, you have to understand meme coins have no inherent value. It is extremely risky. It is extremely volatile. As James can't be with us right now. He's visiting his mom in South Korea. And James was saying, like, you know, Bitcoin, Solana, that's like the good girl. She bakes you cakes. She likes you. He's like, and meme coins are like the coked up whores, the hot coked up whores. He's like, you know, you can only stay with a hot coked up whore for so long before she burns you and ruins your entire life. That's a very good, you know, that's a good what is it, analogy? Is a good analogy for meme coins. But everything is setting up right now to go crazy, absolutely insane. And I got to tell you, it's just looking phenomenal. Now, here's why we call it Uptober. If you take a look real quick here, okay, going back to this right here, where is my chart? It is right here. Okay, this is the history of Bitcoin in regards to the gains. Okay, these are the month on the top here, and then on the left hand side you have the years. And if you just look at October is historically the best month in cryptocurrency, so dating all the way back to 2013. So 2013, that was a bull market year, up 60%. 2014, bear market. 2015, we're going sideways. 2016, we're going sideways. 2017, bull market. 2018, lost a little 3%. Still, that's not bad, right? 2019, going sideways, accumulation period. 2020, going sideways, accumulation period. And then also then 2021, 40%. 2022, 5%. Now, I will put an asterisk on this 2023 because that is when the news on October 15th, the news that the Bitcoin ETF was going to be approved did get leaked. So if you want to put an asterisk there, if you're really skeptical, that's okay. Also, just going back to real quick, the month before the election. So let's go to 2016. That was the Trump election. And in October, we were up 14%, November, 5%, right? Going to 2020, that's when Biden got into office, and there's a lot of turmoil. 27% on October, and then the November following, 42%. There was no manipulation, nothing. That was completely organic, and that actually followed by 47% the very next month. So, typically Q4, which is October, November, December, historically during bull market years, that basically non-bear market years, they do really, really well, right? If you go back to 2016, this was accumulation year. But then if you look at 2017, that was a bull market year, 47%, then 50%, then 40%. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely crazy. Okay. And then in 2021, we had the top was basically in November, October-ish. So we popped off there. But then going back to 2020, you know, great election year. in regards to cryptocurrency gains. And then look at that. This gains carried over into October. So if you held from here, from October, for 1 year to the next October, I mean, you're making well over, like, almost, I mean, if you factor in the whole year, like, you're making like 200% gains. So everything is setting up right now for some historical face melting gains to be happening. So it is just, I can't be bullish enough. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. And then here's why you got to pay attention to everything. Okay. So as I mentioned to you guys before, I'm going to show you guys a real quick chart here. Right. And again, this is just the simple economics of how crypto currently moves. Okay. So what I'm going to do, show you here is a real quick little thing. So this yellow here is going to represent Bitcoin. Okay. So that's Bitcoin. Make that a little bit smaller. Okay, so the yellow is going to be Bitcoin, all right? And then the blue here is going to be, this is going to be your, this is going to be your blue chip alts. And blue chip alts are just good alts. So basically Ethereum is not there anymore. But Solana, what would you say are some blue chip alts right now, guys? Solana.
Let's pull up CoinGecko.
I would say Solana, probably Beam. Even though gaming is kind of dead, it's still like the shining jewel of that sector.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like Sui for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That ecosystem also seems to be flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going, like, Sui's going well, but oh, you finish, Adam?
The Ethereum technically is still doing fine, not great, but in terms of security, you're pretty well set with it. Yeah, like blue chips. This market is pretty interesting because most of the plays that you'll see are meme coins. This has never been the case before. Even last cycle, the whole Doge mania and Shiba, it was a really concentrated period of time, and that was because Elon was pumping it via Twitter. But never have we seen, like, we usually always have a portfolio of different, like, development sectors and different projects that are actually trying to build something. But this time around, that hasn't paid off at all in terms of getting more value out of your money. If you believe in the project, that's a different story. But in terms of extracting value, basically only meme coins have been worth it this cycle. Either that or just stay in Bitcoin.
And I want to add you something real quick. So the beauty of meme coins is this, right? Let's be honest. The only reason we're all in crypto is for one reason and one reason only, right? We just want to get some money.
The technology.
Yeah, the tech. Now, shut up, Virgin.
Love the picture of the Indian guy wearing all the gold and stuff. I'm in it for the technology.
So when it comes down to it, okay, a lot of these crypto companies, they hire a fake team of developers. They get endorsements by big people, and then like, look at this great project we have. It's coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. And then the bull market's over, and everybody gets rugged, right? The beauty about memes is everybody's like, this is a scam. This has no value, but we want the number to go up so we can all get rich. So it's collectively people getting together, hoarding together, and just saying, we just want the price to go up. Let's pump the price. And that's it. That's exclusively it. And I like memes because they're honest and they're pure. They're like, yes, this is a scam. Yes, we're trying to make money. And if you could play your cards right, you know, you could make a lot. You can make millions with memes. You can actually make millions with memes. So going back to how you should just look at everything. This is the most simple thing you could take a look at in regards to the whole cryptocurrency market. So we're going to start with Bitcoin. So let's just say, you know, Bitcoin in the bull market, it typically goes like this, right? And that is typically what happens. You have the beginning, you have the beginning of the bull here, and you have the peak right here. And then it, you know, it doesn't go to zero, but it goes back down basically, right? Bitcoin's not ever going to go to zero. And then the blue chip alts, they typically a day or two fall behind, and sometimes they outgain Bitcoin, and then they die off, right? And then the third one is the memes. Now the memes, they are typically lagging the last, but they go up crazy, and memes do go to zero. So, if you can look at the first indicator of the health of the market, which is Bitcoin, and know, okay, all these indicators are indicating that Bitcoin is absolutely slated to go up only, right? So when you have that, hold on, what the hell's going on? Right. So when you have that as a benchmark for overall strength, right? When that goes up, everything typically follows. Even the garbage of the most garbage follows upwards. Bitcoin drags the market to a degree, the direction that it's going. And if you don't believe me, just join me at home. Go to coinmarketcap.com, and I'm just going to share with you, raw data straight from the website. It's a very great, simple website. They have an app as well if you're just curious about this. But as you can see, Bitcoin up 2.2%, 3%. Ethereum's up 1 to 6%. BNB's up 2 to 6, 7%. Solana's up 3 to 8. And you can see right now the market is up because Bitcoin is going up. And you can see there's similarity in the charts as well, right? Some of these are like literal verbatim copies. Toncoin is something to keep a look at. That's the Telegram token. And for you guys that are still doubting memes, the number 8th most powerful meme in the world is Dogecoin, sitting at $17 billion market cap. Okay. No intrinsic value. I mean, you can pay with Doge now on certain websites. And then number 13 here is Shiba Inu. But if you look here in the top 100, there are the Pepe is the token Ethereum meme. Pepe on the 7 days up 20%. That's a meme coin, right? If you keep going down, WIF is the coin we're talking about. It's actually on the thumbnail of today's of all the episodes of Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 2. Baby. Yeah, 44th most powerful crypto in the world, 25% gain in 7 days at a 2.1, basically 2.2 billion market cap. Bonk, the official meme coin of the Solana ecosystem, is up 22%. Floki is the official meme coin of the BNB chain, correct? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's the Ethereum contracts. Yeah, it's a BNB smart chain, right? So it's the BNB's official meme coin. These are like they're treating them as like mascots. And then Brett is up here. Brett is a meme coin as well. That one meme coin, Popcat, is here, 73. Well, both of these are, they're scraping by scraping at 1 billion, touching it. 24 in the last 24 hours, Brett has pumped 17%. Beam is that blue chip token, that blue chip crypto that Adam was talking about. This is the premier gaming token right here. And yeah, like I said, in the top 100, you have some serious contenders from a meme standpoint. So everything is looking good, the way that things are, sizing up. And I think one of the biggest and most bullish indicators is in the chat right here. Aaron Engler, he's in the chat. He says, MLD, will you take me back? My channel is struggling without you. And please, MLD, I'm begging you. I miss you, Big Daddy. So the answer is no. I'm sorry. You're fired. You just go hold your hex bag to zero. But I think right now, we are set up and ready to rock and roll for something pretty crazy. So we're in the beginning now, right? I want to ask you guys, personally, for me, staying in after April is too much of a high risk. Personally, that's my 2025 April. That's when I would like to take everything off the table, if it's possible. I will look at the strength of the market and stuff when that time comes, but where does this end? Because we're talking about the beginning now, but when does this end? We'll start with Adam. Go ahead.
Sure. So I would say it depends on at what point your portfolio is at that point. If you are sitting on a couple of $1 million, then yeah, maybe play more defensive at that point. we have the 2021 cycle for reference on the possibility of like Alex mentioned earlier, a potential double top. So on 2021, we peaked on April, May, give or take, and then we had like a boring chop all the way through like September, October, and then we peaked again in, I think it was late November, 2021. So that could potentially happen, and that by that logic, peaking once in April next year wouldn't mean the end of the cycle. I'll give some arguments supporting both sides. So another thing supporting that idea is the fact of the ETFs. So the BlackRock ETF, for example, peaked this year around mid-March. So April next year would be basically a year from now, from that point. And if you know BlackRock and you know the level they play at, they're not sticking around for just 1 year. So I really doubt that they're gonna just let Bitcoin die for this cycle at that point. I would rather think that they would try to keep it up as long as they could. I'm not saying that they're gonna keep it up for like 2 or 3 years or anything like that, but I can definitely see them extending the cycle until the usual November, December peak.
Of next
In
year.
any case, yeah. So in any case, I would still like monitor the market closer at that point. I would just suggest people not to get themselves carried away by any single indicator, because last cycle, the indicator that was captivating a lot of people was the pi cycle top, which is basically like 2 moving averages. And back on the April peak, it actually did signal a top. But following that top, then you would consider that to be the end of the entire cycle. And that wasn't the case. We actually peaked again in November. So my suggestion for people would be to monitor the market closely. If you are seeing on a really large portfolio, then yeah, maybe consider getting out at that point, even if you miss on some extra potential gains. What you already have is too much to lose not to take that chance. If you're sitting on a 4 or 5 figure portfolio, then maybe yeah, take the risk, see if you can get it to a 6-figure one before getting out. But yeah, it would depend on a lot of conditions. But mainly, like personally, I tend more towards the market continuing doing its thing and peaking back in November. Like that November, not exactly, but like quarter 4.
Yeah,
That's
September,
my
October, November, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Alex, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. But when
sorry.
you're done, Alex is gonna pop in.
I'll jump in.
Now that we're technically not still bull mania mode, I would like to give some advice. Yeah, we're potentially having some really not financial advice, of course. We're potentially having some great times ahead, but for the love of God, don't quit your job. Like,
yes,
really, like I'm here, I'm still working, even though my crypto portfolio has more than my bank account does. Like crypto, you have to consider it as a end of the year bonus. It's not a replacement for your job. Unless you get out like $10 million and then you can live off of them, don't quit your job for fuck's sake.
But 10 million, we can.
And don't invest it all into hex.
At 10 million, Adam says it's okay.
10 million, you can quit your job. That is financial advice.
There you go.
Oh yeah, at 10 million you can go into your boss's office and piss on him. I don't care what you do. At that point, you're set for life.
You can only do that though if you've sold it. If you have a $10 million paper balance, for the love of God.
Of course. Yeah, once it's in your bank account, then you can go and piss on your boss.
You can pay me $1 million to come and shake you and freaking and force you to sell, and you'll end up with more money than if you just left yourself to be, oh no, don't worry, it'll keep going. It'll keep going.
Phenomenal. Alex, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well,
you can pull if you want to pull up the chart too, knock yourself out.
Well, it's just 100% with what Adam's talking about. If you did take April or May, April in 2021, and then you go 4 years from there, that'll get you to April, May 2025. So you could definitely say and argue that that's the top. If we've got something like even in March this year, we just kind of kept buying or stopped buying once it started to go down, and maybe sell out of a few alts and things, move it into Bitcoin, be a bit defensive, because the result of that has been Bitcoin going all the way from like $73,000, $74,000 all the way down to $49,000. And so even in, a year that's been extraordinarily bullish, you've had like a 30% drawdown on those sorts of things. And in 2021, you got a 30, 50, 70% drawdown really on most things. And so it's never a bad idea if you're up really well to get out at those sorts of tops. Now, when you do all the technical analysis to try and find out logical points by which price would get to and would signal a top. So while we've all been talking, I pulled up the MOODENG chart, and you can sort of see very quickly, and let's see if I can actually just share that. That might be a good example of
MOODENG.
So I never knew about this until just now. And so I sit there and I draw this out, and you look up and you go, well, it's probably cooked for the time being. It's gone up so hard, so fast that most things will dick around. Let's see if I can draw. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, cool. Most things will kind of move up and eventually make their way here and eventually make their way here and then keep going up. And you kind of have this like healthy price action where there's enough time to pass that allows the price to continue moving in a bullish way. Whereas this is just gone and shot all the way up. So I would expect it. Well, I would probably buy this all the way down here. And in terms of price-wise, like we're talking 70 or 80% down. Now, everything, even like I've got the PopCat chart in another tab, that has had 5, 6, 7, 80% drawdowns this year. So it's important not to get swept up if it's going up. In fact, you probably should sell on a green day and buy on a red day. That's also generally a good thing, because a lot of people will tell you that this is the future of memes. And sure enough, 20,000% up in a week and a half is pretty delicious. But just you kind of keep a bit of a chill time. So earlier I showed some charts about around this time, here's a window, here are the lines that have been mathematically calculated. And so if price hits this and then starts to come down a little bit, I'm going to be watching that thing on the 5-minute chart waiting to get out, because it's reached a logical point that the price would like to get to. And so now I'm just waiting for it to come down. So that's one indicator. Another indicator is all of a sudden everyone starts talking about crypto. I counted on average 7 articles about crypto in like the main papers that we have here. Now, right now, there is probably one crypto article every 2 weeks. And so really nothing's being said about it. But once you start seeing it absolutely everywhere, and you see Matt Damon on the TV being like, get into crypto, it's the future. Because they've paid that guy like 10, 20, $30 million to get on that, because they'll still make money if they do that. So once you see all these celebrity endorsements, once everyone's like, oh my God, Bitcoin is the brand new thing and it's going to take us to the moon, that's probably the time to get out. So if we're in the middle of the next year and I'm seeing crypto articles in the paper everywhere, I'm probably going to sell, because there probably will be a 30, 40, 50, 60% drawdown, even if we're going to keep going up towards the end of the year. So it's just about being sensible. If you're in general, it's like if you get a 2x, I like to take the principal out, because I go, well, that's 100% return in what, a matter of days, a month, something. People are creaming themselves over 8% in a year. They're like, oh my God,
creaming themselves.
Like, and so you're just like, we kind of take it for granted at times in crypto, where you just like, you've just earned like 10, 12, 15, 20 years worth of returns in a fucking week. And you sort of like, just sell, at least de-risk, because yeah, like this is all just a big Ponzi game. I mean, the Bitcoin technology is there and it does have a use case. And I do like, it's trustless, so that, you could be at war with another country and still do trade, because you don't need to trust the person that you're trading with. The network itself does it. There's all of these points. It's useful for the general population. It is too hard to use for the general population. It's too risky, because people are going to like butterfingers and send all their money to a dead wallet and it's all gone and poof, then you can't get it back. Like there's no safeguards for people to use. So it is too risky for people to use at the moment. So it's not going to become, the currency of the future that we're all going to start using right now anytime soon. But there is a chance that it will go into the future and it'll reach Michael Saylor's like $13 million, $45 million. And good luck to him. Good luck to him. I really do hope it works out for him, because he does seem like he has very reasonable like risk levels in terms of, like, I think at one point, when Bitcoin's up at $30,000 and everyone's like, oh, is he getting nervous? And his liquidation price was like $3,000. Like, the Bitcoin had to drop 90% in order for him to be wiped out. Whereas this guy owns how much percent of the Bitcoin supply at the moment? Like a lot. So, good for him. I hope he becomes the super mega lord of the planet. But I'm going to be getting out next year, and then I'll probably get back in. Like, this is all just trading the macro sort of stuff. But you just want to be keeping an eye out. Look at the fear and greed index. Look at what people are saying. If your aunt, who is all very anti-crypto, calls you up one day and just goes, hey, how do I get some of these, whiff coins? Like, that's when you'd be like, oh shit, we got to go. Like, we got to be looking. Because even when I was seeing 7 crypto articles a day, Bitcoin's still at $45,000. And then 2 weeks later, whoop, it's at $69,000. And so it's not like on the day you see it, it's time to get out. It's just, that's the time you really got to be watching and paying attention. So we shall see what happens next year. I'm just going to take it a level at a time, because when you do the maths, Bitcoin could be 120,000, but it could be 290,000. And so we'll just have to see how crazy it gets, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is a living, breathing organism, the crypto community, the cryptocurrency space. Real quick, somebody asked me in the chat, shout out to Prod. I don't know if you're still here, Prod. He says, is Kaspa a blue chip? I just, from a surface level analysis, quickly, I just looked at the year, and that doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad at all. This is in the top.
Performance-wise,
yeah, right?
It did really good this last year and a half.
Yeah, like, let's just go at, this is the daily, this is the weekly, so it's technically down on the week by like half of a penny. The monthly looks like it's been chopping sideways with the rest of the market. If we're just going to be fair. The yearly looks good, and then looks like it was inception. The inception was in 2022-ish. So yeah, August 2022. This is that's, you see, when what Alex was saying earlier, like, if your crypto is not smashing all-time highs right now, or getting very near to it, because I know technically Solana hasn't smashed the all-time high yet. This is what you want to see. This is what you want your portfolio to be looking like. Stuff like this. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but this is nice. This is healthy. This is a good indicator. It pumped, obviously, with the Bitcoin ETF rumor leaking, went from 5 cents to all the way up to, looks like 15. So a 3x in a matter of, don't be stingy too. Like, I have people hit me up sometimes, friends of mine, and they mean well, but like sometimes they're like, hey, how can I make a quick 5 to 10x? And I'm like, well, one does not simply make a quick 5 to 10x, because it's just you have to do a lot of research. Like, like I have a fucking research team, which these gentlemen are on. And we have like a 17-person research team just for us to be like kind of right. So you have to really think that ultimately what you guys want to be doing is you want to think, how much money do I have to invest? That's called your principal. What is my principal? What do I want to get with my principal, and in what time frame? So how much money do you have? How much money do you want it to be? And then how long are you willing to wait for that to go up? Those are the 3 components of pretty much like idiot-proof investing, quite frankly. So that's that. Damidolo Films, he asked, thoughts on Sui? I don't know the ins and outs of Sui, but I do know that Sui is the second fastest. Is it the second fast? Is the second most used crypto in regards to transactions in the world, and it's only second to Solana, which is number 1 in the world. Do you guys know anything about Sui?
I just know that it's like its whole thing is about onboarding people like Web2. So essentially, like, you can sign stuff with like I could be wrong, but I think it's like you can sign into stuff instead of using like a wallet. You can like connect with your like Gmail account or something like that.
Really?
So like that level of ease of adoption,
Mhm.
but underneath is some Web3 stuff happening, but the
Mm.
user doesn't see it.
I stand
'Cause that's-
corrected. Sui is not second in the world. Sorry, I was 100% wrong. It is not. This is an older chart, but I'll just pull it up real quick. So, oh, and there's another bull point that I forgot to mention that I'm going to mention right now. Right here, this is transactions per second between blockchain. All the way to the far left is the worst chain in the world, Ethereum. Just doing awful, just terrible. I mean, so bad. 15 transactions per second. But if you go here, I mean, you know you're bad at polka dots outperforming you. Solana is number one at 65,000 theoretical transactions per second. And then you have Polygon, you have Elrond, Terra, Phantom, Avalanche, Tron, Cosmos, Algorand, Polkadot, Cardano. Damn, if Cardano's outperforming you, you really got to fucking, you got to consider some things. But I just know that I heard that Sui is making some waves. I've heard it like bleed into my information ecosystem, and I'm not even trying to like do research about it. I think, is it in the top 100, guys?
Yeah.
It is. It's number 23,
Yep.
number 22. So let's just take a look at Sui real quick for the gentleman watching at home. So again, here's the day, down on the day, which is not a bad thing. The week looks not bad, right? From $1.43 to $1.65. The hey, that's not bad either. I mean, that's a quick 2x right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 2x on the yearly. Oh, so it looks like it peaked back then. So like going back to going back to my chart. So Bitcoin and everything peaked on the 14th of March, and then Sui tailed along. And like I just said with that graph, like, you know, a couple days later, here it is. It peaked at $2.08. So assuming it'll go back to its all-time high at $2.08, you know, I was assuming that is its all-time high. Let's go back to the all. Yeah, it looks like it's a young coin too.
Yeah,
it came out April or May last year. Dipped pretty hard from the launch, dipped hard, and then started to turn around here when the Bitcoin news got leaked on the 15th of October. And it honestly, to be honest, this is following the trend of the whole market right now. So I would say that seems, from a quick surface level analysis, doesn't seem like that seems like a decent blue chip, because at least it's not doing what other coins are doing.
I just confirmed that. Yeah, its whole thing is about like providing like Web2 login into Web3 applications, so you can log in with your email or like Twitch account, stuff like that. It also seems to be related to Aptos, which is another blockchain that launched like either last year or in 2022. They both like run the same engine. They both use a programming language called Move. So maybe they're related, or maybe they just both decided to build on the same engine.
Well, not a bad choice.
It's not a bad choice, but I'm just doing a bit of calculating, and essentially it has slightly outpaced Bitcoin, but only very slightly, by like what, 8% or so over the course of the year. So
a win is a win, right?
I would say so. This is all the way. If you got in at the low in October,
right?
if you got in the low in October, so that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're buying anything, it's got to be outpacing the crypto you want to get more of. Otherwise, don't worry about it. So yeah, Sui, looking good.
Not bad. And if you're just trying to get cash, I mean, again, doesn't look bad. We'll close it out here. Somebody asked me in the chat, where was he? Yeah. Jimmy Him wants to know, what about the Hex chart? So I'm the expert analysis person here in Hex. And I think I got to eat some of my words, because if you look here on the 24-hour chart, Hex is up 8%. So it's, and if you look at the 7-day chart, well, okay, maybe not that great. Let's go to the 1-month chart, see what we got for Hex. Oh, hey, it's up on the month. And then let's go ahead and look at the 3-month. It's looking good. Let's go to the 1-year chart, and
looking amazing.
Wow.
Comeback.
Well, so I'm pretty sure it's going to turn around when I click on the max life. Let's just take a quick look at the max life of. Okay.
You know, I
Wow.
remember that peak right there at the 0.5, like half a dollar. I
Yeah,
remember
50 cents.
exactly the day it reached that, and I didn't fucking sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
But
you're in the poorhouse.
Exactly.
yeah,
uh,
like in March when everything was like, Ethereum's up at 4,000, Solana's up at about 220, Bitcoin's up at 74,000. So
yeah,
we're getting close to the we're getting close to the all-time high levels on those other altcoins, or like Ethereum, Solana. Whereas Hex was 50
here.
times less
Yeah.
at a cent, and that was its big rally. Whoa! So yeah, look, trends
It's
tend to
over.
continue, and you know,
The
if
Hex.
it started going up,
Yeah.
okay, cool, it's going up, but it is not, and it has not. So
It's dead. It's over. Like, let go. Let go. It's not going to happen. Okay. Fetch is not going to happen. Hex is not going to happen.
Yeah,
Let go.
Hex had a promise at the beginning of making a 10,000x return, and when
Oh,
it reached like 50 cents, it kind of did, because like I think 56 cents was the 10,000x,
as an X. Oh,
and yeah,
there's a bit of number juggling in there. Like, oh, if you got the exact low, and you get, which is like, if someone bought 1 cent of liquidity at that point, you would have shot the price up 10x
yeah,
for the first thing, anyways.
and if you
yeah.
want to make an
So
argument for the Pulse chain, let's look at PulseX, right? So
Pulse, I think, is
PulseX,
even
the
worse.
24, 7-day. Hey, we're chopping sideways. 1 month, we're making big money. 3 months, we're chopping sideways. And there we go. It
And
peaked around
there's many
March
reasons
15th.
for this, but like these, like to use Pulse is just prohibitively difficult. They don't even have a bridge at the moment. You have to like download the client and run it on your computer, and it
Really?
just doesn't do anything. There's just no developing really happening on it. And to be perfectly honest, like people get a little bit emotional about it because a lot of people have put a lot of money in a Hex, and now it's all just poof. But most 99.999% of cryptocurrencies lose money. They go to zero. That is like, you should expect any cryptocurrency to go to zero. So it's not surprising or shocking or like, why my crypto, like if someone said all crypto goes to zero, then and they had a little asterisk saying 99.9%. Like, you can understand why someone would have that view. You understand why normal people just say like, oh, crypto's too risky, because literally every cryptocurrency goes to zero. Like literally everyone. There's just, we're focusing on a couple that are going up, but there are only a couple. So you can't be surprised. Most cryptos go to zero, and Hex has just gone to zero. It's just dead.
And just for clarity's sake, the ones that we're looking at will probably go to zero as well eventually. So it's
Yeah.
not they're special. They're just not going to zero yet.
But we're not
Like,
delusional about it. Is the big X
Yeah.
factor?
It's
the big Hex factor, you mean?
Jesus.
Yeah. We're bullish
Jesus.
on them until we're not. And at the end of the day, if blockchain is going to be a thing, you'll probably end up with like, the Apple and Samsung, or Apple, Google kind of like, that's it. There's like 2 or 3 blockchains, and everyone uses those. And you'll have your little fringe ones. You have your little Linux blockchain, which shout out to my Linux boys. But really, that means all of you, like Sui, probably go to zero. Probably. It's going well now. It'll probably do well, this market, because it has continued to do well. But probably in 10 years' time, Solana could be gone and something else will be there. So you don't know. Bitcoin is probably the only thing you can kind of count on being around. But even then, there's absolutely no certainty beyond it. So if there was, you'd have every bloody like hedge fund in the world throwing all their money in it. They would just, why wouldn't you? If it's going to go up another 1,000x, if it's going to go to $13 million, why wouldn't you? Like, it's the easiest trade in existence. And that's because of this thing called risk management. Because in all likelihood, it's all going to poof and be gone. So keep that in mind. Do not get caught up in the euphoria of it's going up forever, because it will not, and you will lose your money. Because this is all very PvP. We make money because other people have put money into it. And we just hope that it's some sort of shadowy organization so we don't feel bad about it, because they're going to lose it anyways.
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, I mean,
finally, last piece of bullish news that we have here. If you take a quick look at HODL 15 Capital, this is a great live tracker of the inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. So the US ETFs hit $60 billion in Bitcoin holdings only today. And today, at the end of today, which was September 26th, these are the amount of inflows in millions in the ETFs. So BlackRock, the iShare Bitcoin Trust, 93 million today. Fidelity, 74. ARK Capital, 114. Bitwise, 50 million. Van Eck, 22 million. Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund, 5 million. Invest Galaxy Bitcoin, 7 million. Franklin, 7 million. Looks like Grayscale sold 8 million today. And then the Bitcoin mini ETF, they bought 3. So again, when these numbers are all green, the market's going to go up. And what Adam was saying earlier is, BlackRock, these companies, they're not scalpers. They don't go in and out to make a quick buck. They play the game long. More and more pensions are onboarding Bitcoin to these ETFs. More and more people are slowly but surely coming into Bitcoin. And on top of that, if you look at the daily transaction users, daily active users on Solana, it is just an exponential chart up. It is just every single day, more and more people are onboarding to Solana. So the mathematical side of everything does seem to check out. That's going to do it for us today here, guys. We wanted to say thank you so much. Keep an eye, and you're going to find out if we were right or wrong. We believe Uptober is coming. This is just the beginning. We're setting the foundation right now in the month of September. And then, historically speaking, October is always up. And then the November following the U.S. elections, once the president is decided, I think a lot of people are like, okay, this is who the president is. Now we're going to make our choices regarding who this person is. I personally think that Donald Trump has the most momentum in the world. I think if the steel was so solidly in the bag, they wouldn't be trying to kill this man. That being said, things are looking really good right now, and the time to make some money is before you. We've been telling you guys since we launched this show, everything we talked about. And we have a research team that we have been working together since December. So we know what we're talking about. There's no moon math. There's no hopium, none of that. We're math. And when things are going to shit, we're going to let you guys know as well. We're going to be here all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. So until then, we'll catch you guys next week. Apologies, guys, real quick. The reason I didn't do the show yesterday, I had to go get some x-rays and stuff on my right elbow, and I found out I need to get surgery. So I'm actually going to be getting surgery next week on my elbow on Tuesday. I'll be hospitalized next week, so there'll be no shows next week. So the week after, I might try to broadcast from the hospital. I don't know if they're going to let me, but you know me, I'm a workaholic. I'll make it happen. But that being said, we'll try to be back next week. If not, definitely the week after, I'll be back. It's an in and out thing. They're just going to shave some bone. I have a bone spur right here that is just pushing on my nerves and bones and muscles, and it hurts. Can't even bench press. So until then, we'll see you guys next time.